The Galactic Council chamber fell silent as the holographic display activated. Floating in the center of the vast circular room was a blue-green planet, slowly spinning to reveal continents and vast oceans. 52 alien representatives from across the galaxy leaned forward in their seats. None of them had seen this world before. "Esteemed council members," began Chief Explorer Zix, his 6 tentacles waving nervously. "Our Deep Space Survey team has discovered a new inhabited planet in a previously unexplored sector. We call it Earth." Several council members muttered among themselves. New planets were found often, but something in Zix's voice suggested this was different. "What makes this discovery notable?" asked Chancellor Vorn, the ancient Draxian who led the council. His scaled skin reflected the blue light from the hologram. Zix tapped controls on his datapad. The image zoomed in to show storms, volcanoes, and various terrain types. "Earth is what we classify as a Class 5 Deathworld." Gasps echoed through the chamber. Deathworlds were rare, planets with conditions so harsh that intelligent life should not evolve there. Class 5 was the highest rating. "Impossible," said Representative Clix of the Hive Collective. "No sentient species could evolve in such conditions." "Yet they have," replied Zix. "The dominant species calls themselves humans. They live in an environment with extreme temperature variations, high gravity, dangerous predators, natural disasters, and constant microbiological threats." The hologram switched to images of humans going about their daily lives. Dr. Zelax, the council's chief xenobiologist, stepped forward. She was small compared to most council members, with pale blue skin and 4 arms. Her species was known for scientific brilliance. "What fascinates me is their adaptability," she said. "These humans can survive in deserts and Arctic regions. They can endure radiation levels that would kill most of us. Their immune systems battle constant attacks from viruses and bacteria. Their bodies can heal from injuries that would be fatal to any council species." The council chamber grew more restless. Chancellor Vorn raised a clawed hand for silence. "What is their technological level?" he asked. "Primitive by our standards," Zix answered. "They have only recently developed basic space travel within their solar system. They have nuclear weapons but have not yet discovered faster than light travel." "Then we have time," said Vorn. "Time to decide what to do." In the back of the chamber, General Krull of the Defense Force rose to his full height. His species evolved from apex predators, and he still looked the part. "The decision is clear," Krull growled. "If these humans ever reach the stars, they will be unstoppable. Their bodies are adapted to conditions we find unbearable. Our soldiers would be at a severe disadvantage. We must contain them now." Many council members nodded in agreement. Fear spread through the chamber like a virus. Dr. Zylax tried to object. "But we should study them, learn from them. Their medical advancements alone could—" "Too dangerous," interrupted Krull. "These Deathworlders would spread across the galaxy, like a plague. Their competitiveness and resilience would make them impossible to control." Chancellor Vorn considered both arguments, then spoke. "We will quarantine Earth. A containment field around their solar system will prevent any ships from leaving. We will monitor them but make no contact." The vote was quick and nearly unanimous. Earth would be sealed off from the rest of the galaxy. Meanwhile, on that blue-green planet, Lily Martinez had no idea her world was being discussed by alien civilizations. She focused on the equations displayed on her computer screen in the NASA research lab. At 32, she was already leading the experimental propulsion team. Her dark hair was pulled back in a practical ponytail, and she hadn't slept properly in 3 days. "You need to go home and rest," said Gary White, her assistant. He placed a fresh cup of coffee beside her. Lily rubbed her tired eyes. "I'm close to something, Gary. These calculations, and they're almost there. The faster-than-light drive will still be here tomorrow," Gary said with a smile. Lily shook her head. "Humanity has waited long enough to reach the stars. I can feel we're on the edge of something amazing." What Lily couldn't know was that, far above Earth, alien ships were placing containment field generators at strategic points around the solar system. Once activated, the field would prevent any Earth vessel from traveling beyond Mars. Dr. Zelax observed the installation from her research vessel. Despite agreeing with the containment plan, she had convinced the Council to let her study humans remotely. Her ship would remain hidden, collecting data on these fascinating Deathworlders. "Field generators in position," reported her assistant. "Activate, on my mark," she ordered. 3, 2, 1 at mark. Across the solar system, the devices hummed to life. Energy pulses connected them, forming an invisible barrier. To Earth's primitive sensors, nothing would appear unusual. Back on Earth, Lily's computer suddenly detected an energy spike. She frowned and checked her instruments. "That's strange," she muttered. "What is it?" asked Gary, looking over her shoulder. "Some kind of energy fluctuation from deep space. It doesn't match anything in our databases." She tapped her keyboard, saving the data. "I'll look at it later. Right now I need to finish these equations." Little did she know that the energy spike was the key to understanding how to break through the containment field. The barrier had created a unique quantum signature that her sensors had detected by pure chance. 5 years passed. The containment field held strong, and the Galactic Council mostly forgot about Earth. Even Dr. Zelax's research team was reduced as funds were directed to other projects. Only a skeleton crew remained to monitor the Deathworlders, but Lily Martinez hadn't forgotten the strange energy readings. They had become a side project, something she worked on between her official duties. And finally, one night while everyone else had gone home, she made the connection. "It's a field," she whispered to the empty lab. "A field designed to contain something, or keep something out." With trembling fingers, she calculated how an engine could be modified to break through such a barrier. The mathematics were clear. It was possible. The next morning, she presented her findings to NASA leadership. 1 year later, funding was approved for a prototype drive. 3 years after that, the first ship capable of faster-than-light travel was ready for testing. On the morning of the test flight, Captain Joseph Bell stood before his small crew on the deck of the spaceship Endeavour. "Today we make history," he said. "Today humanity takes its first step into the greater galaxy." In her monitoring station near Neptune, Dr. Zelax received an urgent alert. Energy readings from Earth showed they were testing a drive system that might breach the containment field. She immediately sent a warning to the Galactic Council. "Impossible," was Vorn's response. "They are decades away from such technology." "The readings don't lie," insisted Zelax. "These humans have advanced far faster than our models predicted. They've detected the field and developed a way to break through it." As the Council argued about what to do, the Endeavour's engines powered up. On the bridge, Lily Martinez stood beside Captain Bell as the countdown reached 0. The ship surged forward, heading for the stars, and for the invisible barrier that humanity never knew existed. The Galactic Council was about to learn why Deathworlders should never be underestimated. The Endeavour shuddered as its engines pushed to full power. Captain Joseph Bell gripped his command chair while the rest of the crew checked their stations. This was the moment they had trained for over the past 3 years. "All systems nominal," reported Susan Clark, the ship's engineer. Her fingers moved quickly across the control panel. "FTL drive charging," said Lily Martinez. She watched the energy levels rise on her display. After all her work, her theories were finally being tested. "We'll reach optimal power in 30 seconds. Outside the ship, the stars looked normal. No one on board could see the invisible containment field that had kept humanity prisoner in their solar system for 2 decades. 20 years ago, we detected the energy signature," Lily had explained during the mission briefing. "We thought it was a natural phenomenon. Now we believe it may be artificial, possibly even a barrier." Some crew members had laughed at the idea. Who would put a barrier around Earth, and why? But Captain Bell had taken it seriously. "Prepare for FTL initiation," he announced. 10 seconds. The countdown began. Lily closed her eyes briefly. If she was wrong, nothing would happen. The ship would simply fail to achieve faster-than-light travel. But if she was right, if there was indeed a barrier, and if her calculations allowed them to break through, Humanity would take its first step into the wider galaxy. 3, 2, 1, initiate. Lily pressed the activation switch. The Endeavour lurched forward as the FTL drive engaged. For a moment, everything seemed normal. Then the ship began to shake violently. "We're encountering resistance," shouted Susan. Warning lights flashed across her console. "Increase power," ordered Captain Bell. Lily watched the readings spike. "Something is pushing against us. It's just like the energy signature I detected." The ship vibrated so hard that loose items crashed to the floor. The lights flickered. For a terrible moment, Lily thought the Endeavour would break apart. Then suddenly, with a final violent shudder, the ship burst through the barrier. The shaking stopped. The stars outside shifted into streaks of light as the FTL drive fully engaged. "We did it!" shouted Ryan Peters, the navigator. "We're in FTL!" The crew cheered, but their celebration was short-lived. Alarms began to sound throughout the ship. "Multiple system failures," reported Susan. "The breakthrough damaged our navigation system. I can't control our direction." "Cut engines," ordered Captain Bell. "Negative," said Susan. "Drive controls not responding." The Endeavour shot through space at incredible speed, headed toward unknown territory. All they could do was wait until the drive burned through its energy reserves. On her monitoring station, Dr. Zylax watched in shock as the human ship tore through the containment field. The barrier that should have held for centuries had been breached in just 20 years. She immediately sent an emergency signal to the Galactic Council. Within hours, the council chamber was in chaos. Representatives shouted over each other as the news spread. Humans had escaped their quarantine. "Impossible," roared General Krull. "That barrier was designed to last for 500 years. Chancellor Vorn called for silence. "How did this happen, Dr. Zylax?" The xenobiologist's hologram flickered in the center of the chamber. "Their technological advancement has far exceeded our projections. They detected the field and specifically designed an engine to break through it." "Where is their ship now?" asked Representative Klix. "It's headed toward the Meldorian trade route," Zylax replied. "Based on their trajectory, they will reach populated space within 2 days." The chamber erupted in fresh panic. The Meldorians were a peaceful trading species with outposts throughout that sector. If humans made first contact with them, "We must intercept the human vessel," declared General Krull. "Destroy it before they can establish contact with any council species." "No," countered Dr. Zylax. "Destroying their ship would only prompt Earth to send more. Their government would view it as an attack." "Then what do you suggest?" asked Chancellor. "Vorn, containment has failed," said Zylax. "We must prepare for first contact. We should send diplomats, not warships." The debate raged for hours. In the end, they compromised. A diplomatic vessel would attempt contact first, but it would be accompanied by 3 warships, ready to act if the humans proved hostile. Meanwhile, the Endeavour continued its uncontrolled journey through space. After 12 hours, the FTL drive finally exhausted its energy reserves. The ship dropped back to normal space with another violent shudder. "Damage report," said Captain Bell once the ship stabilized. "Navigation systems offline. Communications damaged but functional. Life support stable," reported Susan. "FTL drive depleted and will need extensive repairs before we can use it again." "Where are we?" asked Lily, looking at the unfamiliar star pattern outside the viewport. Ryan Peters worked his console. "Unknown. We're far beyond any charted region. Our position can't be determined with current star maps." The gravity of their situation began to sink in. They were lost in uncharted space with damaged systems and no way to get home quickly. "Begin repairs," ordered Captain Bell, "and keep scanning for any signs of habitable planets or space traffic." 2 days later, as Susan and her team worked to fix the navigation system, the sensors picked up something unusual. "Captain," called Ryan from his station, "I'm detecting an artificial structure at the edge of our sensor range." The crew gathered around the main screen as Ryan enhanced the image. There, floating against the blackness of space, was a structure, unlike anything built by human hands. It was a massive ring with smaller structures attached to it like branches on a tree. "It's a space station," whispered Lily. An alien space station. Any life signs? Asked Captain Bell. Ryan checked his readings. Yes, sir. Hundreds of them. And they're not human. A tense silence fell over the bridge. They had found proof that humanity was not alone in the universe. They've detected us, said Ryan suddenly. They're sending out ships. Small ones. Possibly. Patrol craft. Captain Bell straightened his uniform. This is what we've prepared for. First contact with an alien civilization. Send a standard greeting package on all frequencies. Let's hope they understand the concept of peaceful contact. As the Endeavor waited, 5 small ships approached in formation. They were sleek and clearly more advanced than anything humans had built. The communication console beeped. We're receiving a transmission, said Carlos Diaz, the communications officer. I think it's a language. The computer is trying to analyze it. Suddenly, the main screen flickered. An alien face appeared. It had a humanoid shape, but with distinctly non-human features. Pale purple skin, large almond-shaped eyes, and no visible nose or ears. The alien spoke, its words unintelligible. Then it switched to another language, then another. They're trying different languages, said Carlos. They're trying to communicate. After several attempts, the alien paused. Then to everyone's shock, it spoke in broken English. Human ship from Earth. How did you escape? The bridge of the Endeavor fell silent. Captain Bell stared at the alien face on the screen. Those 5 words, how did you escape, confirmed what Lily had suspected. Earth had been contained deliberately. I am Captain Joseph Bell of the Earth vessel Endeavor, he said carefully. We are on a peaceful mission of exploration. What do you mean by escape? The alien hesitated, large eyes blinking rapidly. I am Trade Master Vex of the Meldorian outpost. You should not be here. Your world is under council quarantine. Lily stepped forward. Quarantine? You put a barrier around our solar system? Not I, said Vex. The Galactic Council. All Class 5 Deathworlds are contained until their species reach an acceptable level of development. The human crew exchanged confused looks. Captain Bell raised his hand to quiet the murmurs. Trademaster Vex, we don't understand. What is a Deathworld? The alien seemed surprised by the question. Your planet Earth. High gravity, extreme temperature variations, dangerous predators, constant natural disasters, aggressive microorganisms, conditions most species find lethal. Only extremely resilient life forms survive such worlds, Susan whispered to Ryan. He's describing normal Earth conditions like they're extreme. Vex continued. No Meldorian could survive on your planet for more than a few hours without protective gear. Your species evolved in conditions most find unsurvivable. The implications sank in. Humans weren't average by galactic standards. They were extremely tough. We request permission to dock at your station for repairs, said Captain Bell. Our FTL drive was damaged breaking through your barrier. Vex looked nervous. I must consult with my superiors. Please stand by. The screen went blank. Captain Bell turned to his crew. Opinions? They're scared of us, said Ryan. Did you see how that alien reacted? For good reason, added Lily. They locked us in our solar system like animals in a zoo. Or like tigers in a cage, suggested Carlos. Because they think we're dangerous. Captain Bell nodded. Whatever their reasons, we need repairs. Let's hope they're willing to help. 20 minutes later, Vex returned on screen. You may dock at Outer Bay 12. A delegation will meet you. Please, only 3 representatives from your ship. Understood, said Captain Bell. Thank you for your hospitality. After the transmission ended, he selected his team. Himself, Lily as the drive expert, and Carlos for communications. The rest of you, stay alert, he instructed. If anything seems wrong, be ready to depart immediately. The docking procedure went smoothly. The Endeavor connected to the massive space station, which up close revealed itself to be even more impressive. A city in space with countless lights, structures, and smaller vessels moving about. Bell, Lily, and Carlos stepped through the airlock into the station. They were immediately struck by the differences in environment: lower gravity, dimmer lighting, and slightly higher temperature than they were used to. 3 Meldorians waited for them, led by Vex. "Welcome to Outpost Zenith," said Vex. His voice sounded different in person, more melodic. "Please follow me." As they walked through the station, they noticed other alien species watching them with obvious curiosity and fear. Some even backed away as they passed. "They're acting like we have a disease," whispered Carlos. "Or like we're dangerous predators," replied Bell. Vex led them to a conference room and gestured for them to sit. "Refreshments will arrive shortly. Please understand, your presence here is unprecedented. No quarantined species has breached containment in over 500 cycles." "We didn't know we were quarantined," said Lily firmly. "We detected an energy field and developed technology to pass through it. We thought it was a natural phenomenon." Vex's large eyes widened. "You detected the field with your technology? Impressive. Most species at your development stage would not have such capabilities. Why was Earth quarantined?" asked Captain Bell directly. Vex seemed uncomfortable. "It is standard practice. Deathworld species develop differently. They tend to be more aggressive, more adaptable. The Council believes such species must be guided carefully into the galactic community." "You mean controlled?" said Carlos. Before Vex could respond, alarms began to sound throughout the station. Another Meldorian rushed into the room. "Council ships approaching," the newcomer told Vex urgently. "1 diplomatic vessel and 3 war cruisers. They demand the humans be held until their arrival." Vex turned to the humans. "This is unfortunate timing. The Council has been informed of your arrival." "We need to return to our ship," said Captain Bell, standing up. "Wait," said Vex, holding up a slender hand. "If you flee, they will hunt you down. The Council's ships are far more advanced than yours." "What do you suggest?" asked Lily. "Stay as my guests. Meet with the Council representatives. This could be an opportunity for proper first contact." Vex hesitated, then added, "Not all Council members agreed with the quarantine policy. Some of us believe in open contact between all species." Captain Bell considered this. "We'll meet with them, but our ship remains ready to depart." The next 6 hours were tense. The human crew was given quarters on the station while the Endeavour received basic repairs. Lily spent time with Meldorian engineers, fascinated by their technology. "Your FTL drive is both primitive and ingenious," said the chief engineer, a Meldorian named Zim. "No one expected you to develop such technology for at least another century." "Necessity drives innovation," replied Lily. "Though we didn't know what we were breaking through." Zim lowered his voice. "Many species in this sector question the Council's policies. The quarantine of developing worlds has been controversial." Meanwhile, Captain Bell learned more about the galactic political situation from Vex. "The Council rules through technological superiority," explained Vex. "They classify worlds by their environmental conditions and species by their potential threat level. Earth's classification is among the highest. Because we're from a death world? Yes. Your physical adaptations alone make you formidable. Your endurance, strength, and immune systems are exceptional by galactic standards. Add to that your remarkable problem-solving abilities and resource utilization." Vex was interrupted by another alarm. The Council ships had arrived. In the main docking bay, Captain Bell, Lily, and Carlos stood beside Vex and his staff as the Council delegation disembarked from their vessel. 5 different alien species approached, led by a tall, reptilian being with scales that shimmered in the light. "I am Ambassador Krell of the Galactic Council," the reptilian announced. "You humans have violated Council Directive 1173 by breaching your containment field." "We didn't know about any directive," responded Captain Bell calmly. "We are an independent species exploring our universe. We have the right to travel beyond our solar system." Ambassador Krell's eyes narrowed. "You have no rights under Council law. Your planet is classified as a restricted zone." "On whose authority?" asked Lily. "The authority of 300 advanced civilizations who maintain peace in this galaxy," said Krell. "Deathworlders must be carefully managed for the safety of all." Captain Bell stood straight, meeting the ambassador's gaze. We come in peace, but we will not accept imprisonment. Earth deserves its place among the stars. The confrontation was interrupted by an urgent message. A Meldorian communications officer approached Vex. Trademaster, we're receiving a priority transmission from the Earth solar system. Another human vessel has breached the containment field. The news sent shockwaves through both humans and aliens. Captain Bell couldn't hide his smile. It seems, he said to Ambassador Krell, that the age of human isolation is over. Ambassador Krell's scales darkened with anger. This is unacceptable. How did another human vessel breach containment? The same way we did, said Captain Bell. Earth has begun mass production of FTL drives based on Lily's design. More ships will follow. This was a bluff. Bell had no way of knowing Earth's current situation, but the aliens couldn't tell. Ambassador Krell turned to his assistants, speaking rapidly in a language the humans couldn't understand. Vex approached the human delegation. This complicates matters. The Council rarely changes its policies, but 2 breaches in such a short time may force them to reconsider Earth's status. Good, said Lily. We won't be caged. One of the Council members, a small blue alien with 4 arms, stepped forward. Captain Bell recognized her kind from the Meldorian database they had been shown, a Taraxian known for their scientific expertise. I am Dr. Zalax, lead xenobiologist for the Galactic Council, she said. I have studied Earth for 20 years. Your adaptability is remarkable. If you've studied us, you know we're peaceful, said Carlos. Your history suggests otherwise, replied Dr. Zalax. Your planet has seen constant warfare. Captain Bell nodded. We've fought each other, yes, but we've also created art, music, and literature. We've developed medicine to heal the sick. We explore because we're curious, not because we want to conquer. Before Dr. Zalax could respond, the station's communications officer received another message. The second human vessel is requesting docking permission, he announced. They identify themselves as the Explorer, under Captain Diane Kelly. Another human ship? Exclaimed Ambassador Krell. Deny permission immediately. This is a Meldorian station, Vex said firmly. We decide who may dock. Permission granted to the human vessel. Ambassador Krell fumed but could not override the decision. The Council delegation retreated to discuss this new development. Captain Bell contacted the Endeavor. Susan, prepare the ship for possible quick departure. Things are getting tense here. 40 minutes later, the Explorer docked at the station. Captain Bell and his team waited at the airlock to greet their fellow humans. The door opened to reveal Captain Kelly and her crew, the first humans they had seen besides each other in weeks. Captain Bell, greeted Kelly, extending her hand. NASA sent us to find you after we detected the breach in the energy field. We didn't expect to find you in an alien space station. It's a long story, said Bell. But the short version is that Earth has been under alien quarantine for 20 years. They consider us too dangerous to join galactic society. Captain Kelly raised an eyebrow. Dangerous? Us? Apparently, Earth is classified as a Deathworld, a planet with harsh conditions that produce unusually tough species. By galactic standards, humans are extremely resilient. The combined human crews gathered in a private room provided by Vex. Captain Bell and Captain Kelly discussed their situation while their crews shared information. We need to contact Earth, said Kelly. The world needs to know about this. The Meldorians might help us boost our communication signal, suggested Lily. But we have another problem. The Galactic Council wants to maintain the quarantine. Their warships could easily destroy both our vessels. Then we need allies, said Kelly. Vex seems sympathetic to our cause. Meanwhile, in another part of the station, the Council delegation was in heated debate. We should destroy both human vessels now, insisted General Krull, joining via hologram from his warship. Then reinforce the containment field around Earth. That would be an act of war against an emerging species, countered Dr. Zalax. The Council bylaws forbid such action without clear provocation. Their very presence is provocation, shouted Krull. These Deathworlders will spread throughout the galaxy if we don't stop them now. Ambassador Krell considered his options carefully. We need more time. I will negotiate with the humans while we request additional forces from the Council. Homeworlds. As this discussion continued, an alarm sounded throughout the station. Red lights flashed in every corridor. Environmental breach in Section 12, announced the station's computer system. Toxic gas detected. All personnel evacuate immediately. Section 12 contained critical life support systems for the entire station. If those systems failed, everyone on board would be at risk. The Meldorian emergency teams rushed toward the affected area but stopped short when they saw the thick green gas filling the corridor. We can't enter, said the team leader. The gas will burn through our protective gear in minutes. Vex looked desperate. If we don't fix the life support systems, the entire station will lose oxygen within 3 hours. Captain Bell overheard this and stepped forward. What kind of gas is it? Chlorine-based compound, explained Vex. Highly corrosive to most life forms. Chlorine? Bell turned to his crew. Susan, what's the concentration? Susan checked her handheld scanner. About 15 parts per million. Uncomfortable but not immediately lethal to humans. Not immediately lethal? Vex looked shocked. This concentration would kill a Meldorian in minutes. Captain Bell made a quick decision. Susan, Carlos, with me. We'll fix the life support system. You can't go in there, protested Vex. We can handle chlorine better than you, Bell explained. On Earth, we use it in lower concentrations to clean our swimming pools. It's unpleasant, but we can tolerate it for short periods. The Meldorians and council members watched in amazement as the 3 humans put on basic breath masks and entered the gas-filled section. The masks wouldn't stop all the chlorine, but they would reduce exposure enough for a short repair mission. Through the observation window, aliens from multiple species witnessed something extraordinary. Deathworlders in action. The humans moved. Through the toxic environment, eyes watering and skin irritated but functional. Susan quickly identified the problem. A ruptured seal had allowed the station's chlorine-based coolant to leak into the air circulation system. This is intentional sabotage, she reported over the comm. Someone cut this seal deliberately. Working together, the humans bypassed the damaged section and restored the life support systems. 20 minutes later, they emerged from Section 8 and 12, coughing and with irritated skin but otherwise unharmed. A crowd of aliens had gathered to witness their return. Whispers spread through the assembled species. They walked through toxic gas. No protective suits, only simple masks. Deathworlders are real. Dr. Zilax approached them, her 4 eyes wide with scientific curiosity. Your physiology is even more robust than our studies suggested. Most species would have suffered permanent damage from such exposure. We're not invincible, said Bell, his voice raspy from the chlorine. But humans are adaptable. We do what needs to be done. Ambassador, Krell watched from a distance, his expression troubled. The humans had just demonstrated exactly why the Council feared them, and why that fear might be justified. Vex approached the human crews. You saved our station, many lives. This debt cannot be ignored. We don't want your debt, said Captain Kelly. We want recognition. Earth deserves to join the galactic community as equals, not prisoners. News of the humans' actions spread quickly throughout the station. Other alien species began approaching them, curious rather than fearful now. The balance was shifting. In his private chamber, Ambassador Krell received a secure transmission from the Council headquarters. The situation has changed, said Chancellor Vorn's hologram. More human ships have been detected approaching the containment field. Our intelligence suggests they plan to dismantle it completely. We should attack now, urged Krell. No, said Vorn firmly. The Council has voted. We will negotiate with these humans. Their actions on the station have been broadcast across multiple sectors. Public opinion is turning. We must adapt to this new reality. Krell couldn't believe what he was hearing. Chancellor, these are Deathworlders. They cannot be trusted. Perhaps, replied Vorn. but they can no longer be contained. 3 days after the toxic gas incident, the situation at Outpost Zenith had changed dramatically. The Endeavour and Explorer crews moved freely around the station. Many alien species now approached them with curiosity instead of fear. Some even requested to hear stories about Earth. Captain Bell and Captain Kelly sat with Vex and Dr. Zilax in the station's observation lounge. Through the large window, they could see 5 more human ships that had arrived after dismantling sections of the containment field around Earth. They were smaller vessels, but their presence sent a clear message. Humanity would not be contained. "Your planet has responded quickly," remarked Dr. Zilax. "We underestimated your communication and production capabilities." "Humans work well under pressure," said Captain Kelly. Once NASA confirmed the existence of the containment field, every nation pooled resources to build more FTL ships. Vex looked troubled. "The Council is in emergency session. This situation is unprecedented." "They need to accept reality," said Bell. "The quarantine has failed. Earth wants peaceful contact with the galactic community, but we won't accept being treated as dangerous animals." A Meldorian aide rushed into the lounge. "The Council delegation requests your presence in the main conference room. Chancellor Vorn himself has arrived." This news surprised everyone. The head of the Galactic Council rarely left the Central Worlds. "This must be serious," said Dr. Zilax, her forearms moving nervously. "Chancellor Vorn hasn't left Council space in over 30 years. The humans followed Vex and Dr. Zilax to the large conference room. Inside, representatives from 12 different alien species sat around a curved table. At its center stood a tall, ancient-looking alien with gray skin and eyes that seemed to hold centuries of wisdom. "Captains Bell and Kelly of Earth," announced Ambassador Krell. "You stand before Chancellor Vorn, Supreme Leader of the Galactic Council." The humans bowed respectfully but did not show fear. They represented their entire species now. "I have reviewed the reports of your actions on this station," said Chancellor Vorn, his voice surprisingly gentle. "You saved many lives by entering an environment toxic to most species." "We did what anyone would do," replied Captain Bell. "No," said Vorn. "Most species would not, could not, do what you did. This is why we placed the containment field around your world. Deathworld species develop differently." "Different doesn't mean dangerous," said Captain Kelly. "Humans are explorers and builders. We want to learn from other civilizations, not conquer them." Chancellor Vorn studied the humans carefully. For 50,000 years, the Council has maintained peace among the stars. We have seen empires rise and fall. We have watched promising species destroy themselves and others through aggression and unchecked expansion. Humanity has fought its own wars, admitted Bell, but we've learned from them. Our greatest achievements came through cooperation, not conflict. The Chancellor nodded slowly. "Perhaps, but understand our caution. Your bodies can withstand conditions that would kill most Council species. Your immune systems fight off diseases that would devastate our worlds. Your natural strength and endurance exceed most known species. These traits evolved because your homeworld is harsh by galactic standards. Our adaptability helped us survive on Earth," said Lily, who stood with the other human officers. "But it also taught us to value all life. Precisely because our world was challenging, we learned to protect what's fragile." A murmur spread through the alien representatives. This perspective seemed new to them. Dr. Zilax stepped forward. "Chancellor, my studies of Earth show that humans have devoted enormous resources to preserving their planet's biodiversity. They protect species weaker than themselves, and yet they wage war on each other," countered Ambassador Krell. "As did all of our species during their development," Dr. Zilax replied. "The difference is that humans have created art, literature, and music celebrating peace even while fighting wars. They value compassion alongside strength." Chancellor Vorn raised his hand for silence. "The containment of Earth was implemented based on historical precedent, but perhaps that precedent does not apply in this case." He turned to face the human captains directly. "I propose a new arrangement. The containment field will be completely dismantled. Earth will be granted probationary status in the galactic community. For 50 Earth years, Human ships may travel to designated sectors only, with diplomatic representatives aboard. If this period passes without serious incident, full membership will be granted. Captain Bell and Captain Kelly exchanged glances. It wasn't perfect, but it was a start. We accept. Those terms, said Bell. On behalf of Earth, we thank you for your willingness to reconsider our status. Many of the Council representatives looked unhappy with this decision. General Krull's hologram flickered with rage. Chancellor, this is a mistake. These Deathworlders will spread throughout the galaxy. They will dominate worlds that cannot resist their natural advantages, or they will become our strongest allies, suggested Vex. Imagine human strength used to protect weaker species. Imagine their adaptability, helping us solve problems we cannot. Chancellor Vorn nodded. The future is always uncertain. But one thing is clear. Humanity can no longer be contained. We must adapt to this new reality. The formal agreement was signed that day. The human captains used the station's powerful communication array to contact Earth with the news. Humanity was officially joining the galactic community. 6 months later, the first alien delegation arrived on Earth. They wore special environmental suits to protect them from Earth's gravity, atmosphere, and microbes. Dr. Zelax led the scientific team. It's even more impressive in person, she said, looking at the blue sky and green plants of the NASA landing facility. A beautiful death world. Lily, Martinez, now Earth's first ambassador to the Galactic Council, smiled at the comment. To us, it's just home. Around the world, humans watched the historic meeting on their screens. Schools held special classes about alien biology and culture. Scientists prepared to share knowledge with species who had been exploring the stars for millennia. On the Galactic Council homeworld, Chancellor Vorn stood before the full assembly of 300 species. Some of you fear this change, he acknowledged. You worry that humans will use their natural advantages to dominate. But consider another possibility. Their harsh world taught them not just strength, but creativity. Not just endurance, but empathy. They protect the weak among them. They value diversity. These are traits our community needs. In Earth orbit, the containment field generators were dismantled piece by piece. Some were preserved in museums as reminders of humanity's first encounter with galactic politics. Captain Bell watched from the bridge of the Endeavor as his ship prepared for its second mission. This time, they wouldn't be breaking through any barriers. They would be sailing into open stars with alien diplomats on board and the official blessing of both Earth and the Galactic Council. Course set for the Meldorian homeworld, reported. The navigator. Engage, ordered Captain Bell. As the ship moved away from Earth, he thought about how quickly things had changed. Just 1 year ago, humanity believed they were alone in the universe. Now they knew better. They were part of something, vast and ancient, and they had earned their place among the stars. Not despite being from a death world, but because of it.